show you. So I am going to move quick. At any point in time, you need to stop the video and pause it. Please do so. And you should. You should give these a try before you actually see the solutions. This is divisibility and remainders version 2 out of 2, video 2 out of 2. So number 1 says, there are 345 students going on a trip and 33 chaperones. They hire buses. Each bus can carry a maximum of 48 people. What is the least number of buses they should hire? So first thing you need to figure out is how many people are going on the bus. So let's see, I have 345 students, which will look something like this, students. And then that's 345. And then I have the chaperones, which is 33. I'll call them C. So it looks like a total of 378. Now, I had to get buses, and it says each bus can carry a maximum of 48 people. So I'm going to have to divide my buses, or my people, into buses. So this many divided by groups of 48. Now, I don't know how many I'm going to need, so let's see. I really have 378 divided by 48. There's a couple of different things you can do. You can round these and say, well, 378 is pretty close to 380 over 50, which would be, because they're both end in 0, you can divide them by 10. I get 38 divided by 5. I know that 5 times 7 is 35. So 38 divided by 5 is equal to 7 3/5. But we're talking about buses. You can't order partial buses, so I would have to round that up to about 8 buses. Let's see if that's correct. So all I did was, just to recap, I just approximated. But if you're spending money on buses, you probably don't want to approximate. So now I have 378 divided by 48. Now, one of the things I'm going to look at is say, all right, they both end in 2, or they're both even. So I'm going to see if I can divide them both in half. Well, I can. 378 divided by 2, 300 divided by 2 is 150. 70 divided by 2 is 35, and 8 divided by 2 is 4. So 378 divided by 2 is 189. Looks like it's 189. And I know that half of 48 is going to be 24. Alright, well, that doesn't really help me too much. But let's say 1 plus 8 is 9. 9 plus 9 is 18. That means I can divide, 1 plus 8 is 9. So I can divide 189 by 3. I can divide 24 by 3. So I'm going to divide them both by 3. Which means 3 goes into 18 6 times. 3 goes into 9 3 times. And this becomes 8. So now I end up with 63 divided by 8.
10?
Well, I can't do that. I can't break it down anymore. But this is pretty easy because I know that, let's say, 5 times 8 is 40. 6 times 8 is 48. 7 times 8 is 56. 8 times 8 is 64. So if I have 8 buses, that will work. Because 63 divided by 8 is really 7 with the remainder of 8. 7 with the remainder of 7, but you have to round up. Alright, so that was my bus question. Now I'm going to have another question, and this one's kind of interesting. And I have my daughter here, which she might actually be able to help with this.
I didn't get your last question.
That's okay. It says, I bought 3 bags of jelly beans. I was told that the 3 bags all have the same number of jelly beans in them. So I have 3 bags of jelly beans, and they are all the same, alright?
I really like jelly beans.
Well, that's too bad, because that's what you're getting. So all 3 have the same number of jelly beans in them. Alright. So what's going to happen here is this. I was told there's somewhere between 80 and 90. Oops. So what I'm writing here is 80 is less than or equal to the number of jelly beans, and that's less than or equal to 90. So my daughter eats 3 jelly beans at a time.
Wait, what?
You eat 3 jelly beans at a time.
Wait, what?
I just told you.
I don't eat jelly beans. I don't even know if I don't really like jelly beans.
Alright, so it then says She eats 3 jelly beans at a time. At the end, she had 2 remaining. So let's see. 8 plus 1 is 9. So this is divisible by 3. So that means if she has, this is divisible by 3. If this is divisible by 3, she has 2 remaining. Well, it could be this one. It could be, let's see, 8 plus 4 is 12. So it could be this one, because remainder 1, remainder 2. If she ate 87, she would have to have 2 remaining. I have 1 remaining, 2 remaining.
I never eat that much jelly beans.
And oddly enough, it could actually be 80 as well, because if she had 78 jelly beans, she would have 2 remaining. Now it says, my son eats 5 jelly beans at a time, and he had 3 remaining. So if he ate 80 jelly beans, because 80 is divisible by 5, he could have 3 remaining. If he ate 85 jelly beans, he would have to have 1 remainder, 2 remainder, 3 remainder. So it could be 88. And if he had 90 jelly beans, but he can't have more than 90. So far it's looking like, for my son and my daughter, 83 is the answer. It then says, I eat 6 jelly beans at a time. So, remember, I have to add up. It has to add up to, it has to be divisible by 3. And, what? Even. So, 81 is divisible by 3, but it's not even. 84 is divisible by 3 and 2, so that works. So then I would have
it's even.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That would be 89. Now, the problem is that didn't work for. What would you say?
Well, 46 is even because 3 and because if you have like 2 and 5, does people do people well they have if you had 6 all of them have a partner.
That's true. If I ate 78, I would have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I would have 5. And this is the only one that satisfies all 3 conditions. All right. So, the easiest thing to do, in my opinion, would be to look at Benji's first, or my son's first.
Benji?
All right. And now I have the divided by 4 problem. This was actually something that I saw at a math conference once, and it was a really, really cool problem. And I want you to try this on your own before I do anything else. So, the problem is this. The question is 26 divided by 4. All right? And here are the answers. 7, 6.5, 6, and 2. I want you to come up with a question for each. So, while you're doing that, pause this, and then when you're done, restart it, and I will show you some questions that I have. Welcome back. So for letter A, the answer was 7. So a question I might have is this. 26 kids are going to a game. They have 4 seats per car. How many cars will they need? And the answer is 7, because you would have to have an extra car to carry 2 of the kids. B, if my answer is 6.5, what could a question be for 6.5? Let's see. I had $26, and I have 4 nephews. I paid them to help me pick up sticks.
Just say thank you.
They all got paid the same amount. Paid equal amounts.
You could just say equal.
Equal amounts. how much do they each get? And once again, you can see that now it's just 26 divided by 4. They're going to get 650 each. Letter C is at a fair, rides cost $4 each. I have $26 to spend. How many rides can I go on? And this is interesting because now you actually have to round down. And my last one was, the answer was 2. There are 26 people on the team. The coach asks the team to get into groups of 4. How many kids are left without a group? And that's it. So hopefully you are able to come up with your own questions. If you didn't, I hope you understand why my questions work. All right? This is how divisibility works and remainders work. Super important topic that you will use for, well, hopefully forever. All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.